Hey, what's up, everybody? You're listening to ATB Sounds, and I'm your host, Michael Bird, and I'm coming to you live from the ATB studios. I say live now, but when you hear it, it's going to be recorded. I hope everybody's having a great hump day. It is Wednesday. It is recording day. It's time to get another episode of Hammered out there to all those beautiful ears in ATB land, or whoever or wherever you are listening to ATB Sounds. Hopefully you like this podcast and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be awesome because we love the likes and we love you. Unless you're starting shit in the group, then we give you the boot. All right. Tonight's episode is going to feature Mr. Leo Kishore. He's one of the moderators in the ATB Sounds group and the ATB Passport group. Leo is also a bass guitarist in the band Urban Soil. Leo's got over 30 years experience as a musician, and we are going to talk a little about ATB Idol, a little bit about this benefit coming up later on in the month, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. All right, enough said. Without further ado, let the show begin. Hey, what's up, ATB Verse? I am here with Leo Kishore. I'm one of the moderators in the Sounds group. Also, bassist guitarist for Urban Soil and a lot more bands. What's going on tonight, Leo?
What is going on, Mike and ATB? How's everyone doing?
We are living life 1 hour at a time because of that coronavirus, man. It's like brutal out there. It's trying to get us all.
Definitely trying to get your toilet paper on.
I saw a funny meme today on Facebook. It said, toilet paper found infected with COVID-19. Then it was like,
I saw that.
LOL, take that. Kind of weird, man.
Yeah, that'd be the worst way to get toilet paper, right up your butt.
Yeah, dude, man. I mean, a lot of good washing your hands will do after that,
No doubt. We need all switch to bidets, I guess.
Well, I mean, the country is like under a pandemic right now. Emergency everywhere. I think Raleigh is under an emergency, and I don't know. Did any new cases come out today? I really haven't had time to look.
I don't know. I just know that ticket prices for like flying and traveling are like super cheap. So I'm going to take advantage, given that I don't care.
Sign me up.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Isn't that what they're telling us to do?
Right. Yeah, I know you. I know you went to Japan with a bunch of ATBers last year. What's the plans this year? You got a nice little trip going?
In 2 weeks, I'm going to Peru.
To Peru? Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I'm going to knock out the whole Machu Picchu thing. I just kind of up and decided that a few weeks ago. Kind of spontaneous like that. But I did mention to you that I think next year I'm going to try to put together a group Japan trip. So if anybody's listening to this and ever wanted to go, you should think about that.
That's right, because you are also a moderator in Passports. So that would be something good to get going over in that group. But I digress. Reason why we got you on tonight is we're going to talk a little music. First, let's talk about week 4, ATB Idol, tomorrow night.
That's right.
I think we're going to have 9 contestants. I was talking to RBG, the man Richard Bruce Gant. He's kind of doing the admin thing online with this, getting the songs sent up to the DJ and getting the attendance list of the participants. And he was like, can we get one more in there for tomorrow? And I was like, okay, well, I guess we can do that. So, boom, instead of 8, we're going to have 9 singers tomorrow, but we're still only taking 2.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because, ever since this thing started, everyone has been talking about it. I think after that first week, seeing some of the videos, a lot of people just came out of the woodworks and wanted to jump in on it, which is nice, because I think a lot of people initially were probably pretty hesitant, but once they saw how fun it was and some of the other contestants, they were like, let me bust out my gift and see how that is. And that's good. That's what we want.
Oh, definitely, man. I think sometimes the crowd there is probably. I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the crowd is probably 70% ATB. Wild Wing on a
Absolutely.
Thursday night, and they're so loud and having such a good time, man, that you can barely hear the music from the participants. So I mean that's pretty cool, and I know a lot of
Yeah,
people out there dancing. So
the support from ATB people in general has just been fantastic. It's been a blast every single week.
oh man, and it's just gonna keep going, brother. It's gonna keep going because after week 4, we've got the finale that's gonna be taking place next Wednesday at Plus Dueling Piano Bar, and we're gonna have 4 judges. I'm going to save that as a surprise for later, but we do have a Grammy award-winning drummer that's going to be one of our judges. So that's going to be pretty exciting when that's released.
Yeah, that is exciting. I'm all about some drummers.
Oh yeah.
Does that sound weird? Yeah.
And oh gosh, so like in the winner is going to be voted on by the judges, and whoever wins is going to get a trophy and $200, and second place will get $100. Right now we've got some pretty good singers that's come out in the first 3 weeks, so I'm kind of anxious. I was talking to RBG, and he was saying that tomorrow night it's kind of a very diverse mixture of songs we've got going on there.
I heard someone's going to do a Megadeth tune. I'll be honest with you, it's tough to be unbiased about that, You tell us out a good Megadeth tune and you shoot for it. You got my heart, buddy. Whoever you are, I don't know who you are, but me and you right here.
Well, we've got some KT Tunstall. We got some Allman Brothers.
Yeah, see, that's strong, too.
What else have we got here? Let's scroll. We got some Megadeth, Elton John, some Conway Twitty. Good gracious, man. We are all over the place with tomorrow night.
That's spanning the genres right there. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, bro. I can't wait.
And, it's nice because, someone's going to surprise us with, a great voice. I think every week there's been one person to sing a song where it ain't necessarily, not my favorite song, but the way they crushed it was just, you can just feel it. You just can't deny it. And that's been really cool to watch on a week basis.
The talent that we have in sounds or on ATB altogether, there's some crazy good singers in here, man. Crazy good.
Yeah.
People I had no idea could sing like that. I mean, like Brandon Cuthrell, for instance. He's
I would have never have known about Brandon. Yeah, exactly. How would you have pegged that?
Me and him have sang karaoke quite a few times together, and it's always been like we're always equal, I'm going to say he's got me. He's got a leg on me now. He's definitely better. I had no idea he had that in him. Man, he must have took his singing steroids or something, man.
Well, hopefully he's got some more pills for next week.
We'll see. He said he's got a stage performance, not necessarily the song, but the way he's going to perform on stage. But I don't know if that's such a good idea. You might want to make sure.
What we're missing is some modern dance interpretations. I truly feel like that's the only thing we're missing. So if Brandon can give it to us, then more power to him.
And I'd love to see it too. I'd love to see it and have it on tape. Yeah, that would be awesome. And also, we're also doing a mod's choice. So that'll be somebody that you, Richard, and myself choose that we think should make it into the final 10. Because after tomorrow night, we'll have 9 that were voted in. And yeah, I think there's some that didn't get in that should have been in. So I'm glad we decided to do that mod choice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be a tough choice because there are certainly some great candidates.
Man, I can't wait. ATB Idol is looking real good for season 2, man. We'll have to find us a venue and get that going in the fall. Going to be a good.
I think that'll be the fun part.
Big things going on, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, and I think people will start to think about song choices now, and probably make sure that they can really nail the tune.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing.
All right. Speaking of which, Leo, we got something going on March the 20th. You want to give our listeners the 411 on that?
Absolutely. So on March 20th, Friday, at the Lincoln Theater, they're holding a benefit for a venue in Nashville called The Basement. What happened was the basement got hit pretty hard with all the tornadoes that came around last week or whenever. And my buddy Chris Malarkey, who's a talent buyer at the Lincoln, was looking for bands. And I thought this may be a good opportunity to do something with ATB. In ATB Sounds, we've heard some talk about people wanting to get together and jam out a little bit. And then, of course, we're doing the ATB Idol thing. So I figured there's got to be enough players to make something happen. And, so we got something together, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We got Chris Martin singing a few tunes. We got Dina Napolitano singing a few tunes. Lenny Terenzi is going to be on guitar. I'm going to be on bass. And I've got two of my good friends and bandmates filling in on drums and guitar. We've got Jonathan Wilson on drums, who's my drummer in Urban Soil, and his dad, Alan Wilson. And they have a family band called Individually Twisted. So we're going to rock out the Lincoln Theater, going to get some of these ATB folks on the big stage.
Man, that's awesome, because we've got lots of talent inside Sounds, and it's great to see some of it being tapped. Like, I did not know Lenny Terenzi played guitar, so I'm kind of anxious to hear him. I've heard you play. You also sing. I know you got some Alice in Chains in you. I've heard it.
It's not my big thing, but, occasionally I'm like, let's try to do something different.
Well, I mean, I wish I could sing Alice in Chains. Lane Staley had one of the most unique voices out there, and one of my favorite vocalists.
Absolutely. Him and Chris Cornell from the grunge era were just monsters on the mic. And, I am not Lane Staley by any means, but I do love those tunes, and sometimes just trying to belt some of this stuff out just feels good. And so I was like, let's do it Alice in Chains soon and see if it goes horribly wrong. And it didn't. It only went mildly wrong, so we're good.
Well, I mean, it's not like it's karaoke. You're actually up there singing in front of a crowd that paid to get into a venue to see you. So that takes balls and confidence.
That's the beauty, because like most of the bands I play, they're not cover bands. They're original bands, so people come to see us. And so, pulling off a tune in front of that crowd, it's nice because they give you a lot of leeway, and they always give you a lot of love.
Yeah.
And, it's kind of a difference between original bands versus cover bands. And that's what kind of venue the Lincoln Theater is, and also the Basement is. And so that's why they're kind of throwing a benefit for the Basement, because, you kind of have to take care of these venues that are pushing their original music. I think a lot of our heroes and artists that we like came up, paying their dues in the clubs. And, listen, I love cover bands, but, just like the places that want cover bands versus the places that want you to sing a bunch of tunes that no one's ever heard before, these are just very different places. So, that's what we're doing.
You got Leo Kishore on Hammered tonight. Leo is moderator in Sounds and a bassist in Urban Soil, and the bassist in the new ATB Sounds band that's going to be debuting on March the 20th at the Lincoln Theater. For those of you that haven't been to the Lincoln Theater, it is off 126 East Cabaret Street in Raleigh. It's a smaller venue, but it's I consider it like a homely venue, because there's not a bad seat, not a bad place to stand and watch the concerts. I kind of like Lincoln Theater, man. It's probably, I won't say my favorite venue in Raleigh, but it's probably at least top 3.
Yeah, well, it's got a good capacity. I think with the upstairs, you're looking at about right over 1,000 people. And so they can house some good shows there.
Yeah.
it's not Rich level by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen some banging shows at the Lincoln. Played some banging shows at the Lincoln.
Yeah, I the last time I went to the Lincoln, I think, was to see Dina Napolitano's band. It was right. I think it was her last concert with them before she retired playing with them, and that was probably a couple of years ago. So I'm kind of anxious to go back. Yeah. Who are you playing with right now besides Urban Soil? How many bands are you playing with? I know you got your hands in all kinds of stuff, don't you?
Yeah. I was wondering what number ATB band makes. Yeah, because Friday I'm playing with a band called Nick and the Nomads in Greensboro, and they're an offshoot from a bigger touring band in the area called Big Something. Just basically kind of doing obscure covers. And then I also play with a band out of Greensboro called Dobie, and they're like a Motown R&B kind of band.
Okay.
Yeah. So that keeps it pretty diverse, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing something, somewhere in there. I do, occasionally I'll do the fill-in thing, but I think, keeping around 4 bands is about what I do. But one's usually the major band, and Urban Soil is the major band. Oh yeah, and also the singer in Urban Soil, Sarah Ranka, she has a side solo project called Sarah with an H, and we just released an album 2-3 weeks ago, and we had our CD release at the Poorhouse and one up in Boone. So I guess, what is that, number 4? Does that make ATB number 5?
Man, keep on. You're gonna have to start counting on your other hand.
Yeah. I'm trying to avoid that.
You need a country band, man. Is that the only thing you haven't done? Like a country?
Like a straight. Well, I know I've done it. I used to tour as a bluegrass bass player. With the upright bass and all.
Oh.
And
wow.
just doing the straight acoustic thing.
How was that thing to hold up the whole time?
Well, you don't have to hold it. You just stand there. It stands by itself. The problem is carrying that thing. You like try to walk through a doorway, and listen, I'm smart in some areas, but I'm an idiot in other areas. So there's several times I'm just sitting there with like holding an upright bass off the ground, just staring at a doorway, wondering what I'm going to do, and failing.
How much does that upright bass weigh?
Oh, they don't weigh that much. I mean, like 20 pounds or something like that. It's like carrying around a hollow conjoined twin.
Which basically is what it is to a bass player, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beast to tote around. But yeah, I did that for a few years. So it really depends on what you consider country. We played some old country tunes. But it's nothing like what country was when we were growing up, and nothing like what country is right now,
Oh, man, like some of this new country, man, I just can't get it. That Florida-Georgia line doing like hip-hop, and it's playing on a country station, and just some of this country nowadays I can't get into. I like some Luke Bryan, some Eric Church, Dierks Bentley, some Jason Aldean, but all that other crap, man. Oh. I just can't get into that, man.
I think I ended up playing a bunch of pop tunes, right?
Uh-huh.
And a lot of them were just formatted the same. I think there's been a lot of hate for Nickelback, right? But that to me is just like pop tunes with an edge, right?
Yeah.
And some of these country stuff is just pop tunes with a twang, and they're just tossing out some different flavors. And I don't really have anything against it, because, well, I mean, my job is different. I sit in the back and I just kind of groove along with the music and make sure I'm not messing up.
Yeah.
But as long as there's a good groove, I'm usually in.
You kind of threw something out there, and now I want to touch on it. Nickelback. Why do they get so much hate? Why? Because I'm not going to lie, man. I like Nickelback. If you can't tell me you grew up in the 90s or the early 2000s and you didn't know all of their like 10 hits. They put out some solid music, man. I don't know why they get so much hate.
I mean, a lot of their tunes are just in the formula. You know what I mean? Intro, verse, chorus, bridge, double chorus, out. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that because, I mean, what they're really doing is connecting with you, you know, with the melody and the lyrics. And if it's getting in your head, then they are doing a great job. You know, whereas I think a lot of other people see it as cookie cutter.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I mean, everyone's got some cookie cutter stuff in their wheelhouse. You know, it's really tough to avoid that. And if they don't, then they're probably listening to abstract jazz, which I do listen to, but listen, man, I can see how that stuff is hard to stomach.
Wait, did you say ass-track jazz?
We might as well call it that. Abstract jazz.
Oh.
It might as well be abstract jazz.
Man, these headset must not be working too good. Cause
well, no, you know, I think I like that term. I think I'm going to toss that out.
Abstract jazz. I'm going to patent that term tonight.
Because like, you know, a lot of people just, you know, they need that lyric and that melodic, you know, word delivery to get them into the song, you know.
Yeah. Well, when I think Nickelback, I don't think of guitar solos and killer guitar riffs or a vocalist with a killer voice. I do think of like just a string of hits that are catchy that you can't get out of your head. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Something you can sing along with.
Yeah, exactly. They're good karaoke tunes, I guess.
Absolutely. Which I don't know why no one's done a karaoke version of a Nickelback tune, except that they might feel backlash. You know, I think Nickelback is one of those things where like you kind of had to keep it under wraps that you like them. You know.
Oh yeah. More
but
so
I mean,
today.
that's the same thing with like. Well, I think people are starting to come out of the woodworks and be like, you know what? I like Nickelback and I like Chocolate Milk and I don't really give a shit what you think, you know, which is good, you know, because I had to hide that for a long time with hair bands, you know.
Yeah.
Like I used to love hair bands back in the day, and then all of a sudden nobody was liking hair bands, and I was like, oh, I don't like them either. And I think I talked myself into it until all of a sudden it was like, wait, no, I do like this stuff, you know. I do like some of these players. I do like some of these vocalists. But, you know, just being honest about it and coming out with it and being like, oh, yeah, I'm going to rock out to some Motley Crue.
I was a hair band fan too, man. So, I mean.
Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of us were from that era. And then, you know, when grunge came, it was just like, all hair band is dead. And I was like, well, I guess that part of me is going in a hole.
Oh, grunge killed hair bands completely. But
Absolutely.
Now hair bands are making a comeback, but they're all like in their 50s out here touring. We've got, I don't remember the date. Maybe it's like during the summer, July or August. But I do know Poison, Motley Crue, and Def Leppard are touring together, and they're coming to Raleigh. That's going to be a pretty good show. I've seen them all before playing by themselves, but yeah.
But it's fun to catch them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, how many tunes are people going to be singing along with out there?
Probably every one, unless they have some new shit, which we ain't trying to hear.
Yeah, you know, they'll play one or two new tunes, and we'll all start talking to our friends, and I'm sure it'll be down tempo about like some feelings or whatever. But
that is
you just got to wait it out.
You never know how Bret Michaels is going to be too. He's I do know he canceled some kind of 80s music cruise. He was going to be on that, and he pulled out of that. Who knows, man? Maybe by the time that concert comes around, this whole coronavirus scare will be gone, be history by then. Yeah,
hopefully, because you know I hate it for bands that like people aren't buying tickets because of that. You know, I think a lot of bands are canceling that just to not not lose money on operational costs.
I feel like this is just the flu extended. Yeah, it's going to go around a lot more than the flu, but I don't think it's as deadly. But that's just my opinion, because depending on what TV channel you're listening to, they're all telling you the death percentage is this and that, and they never line up. So who knows?
All I know is if it takes me out, then I'm not paying bills anymore.
Bro, there you go, man. You don't have any more stress, because you're gonna be,
no.
If you believe
Silver
in
lining.
reincarnation, man. Oh shit.
Yeah, I'll probably come back as a caterpillar or something like that, which means one day I'll be a butterfly unless I get eaten. But who cares?
I'm going to come back as a dung beetle, and my life expectancy will be like 2 days.
Yeah, but how happy they are with their little pieces of shit rolling it around.
Oh,
dude, you're gonna have a blast.
The only time that's ever been said, happy with my piece of shit. Right here on Hammered, right. Ladies and gentlemen. We got Leo
rolling it around as happy as can be.
All right, so we got Leo Kishore on the other end on the Hammered Hotline. We've been talking about a little ATB Idol, and we have been talking about the ATB Sounds band is rocking the Lincoln Theater on March the 20th. Make sure to come out and check that out. Leo, so you are a music connoisseur. So, and the reason why I say that, of course, you're in a band. You've been playing for how many years now? 20 plus years?
Yeah. I think I started off playing trombone in the school band when I was 10 or 11 or something like that.
Well.
So, yeah.
Well, you remember.
I hate to say this, but.
Oh, go ahead.
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years. Wow.
Yeah, I've been playing for over 30 total.
Well, then that's a lot of experience, so you got to be pretty damn good at what you do. So I'm pretty jealous over that. I tried to play the guitar.
I'm better than terrible.
Better than terrible?
Better than terrible.
How many instruments can you play?
Well, I mean, I started off on trombone, and I was actually pretty serious about that for a little bit. Mm-hmm. I went to band camp. had a big old time at band camp. Yeah, FYI, whatever they were talking about in American Pie, all that's true. Yeah, I mean, you get some of these little nerdy band kids that typically aren't athletic or anything like that, and you get them away from parents and bunking territory and whatever. It is on. So yeah, band camp. You send your kids to band camp, you better know what you're getting. So
what you're saying is when they go to band camp, it's instruments down and pants are off. Pretty much.
There's some of that. It'll probably be on a piano somewhere.
Oh, so what you're saying is I need to go sign up for band camp right now at 44 years old. I'm going to have to go find me a band camp to join around the Raleigh area.
That's exactly what you should do. Well, what you could do is like start like an adult one. Get like some people who are like starting to become empty nesters, get some instruments in their hands and be like, oh yeah, we're going to go retreat for like a whole week and we're going to learn some instruments and play some tunes. And, halfway through, everyone's going to be getting frustrated, and then you get drunk and all start condoling each other. And then all of a sudden, you just need that piano. Push someone up on a piano,
Well, I got to tell you, I think I got just the perfect vehicle to create a band camp. I'm pretty sure I can use ATB to do that. Put together an adult band camp in Sounds. That should be a mess. A disaster.
Yeah.
To happen.
That's exactly the kind of mess that we just need to set up a bunch of cameras in a house and film that. And that's going to be some good material right there.
I'll tell you, that's what we need. We need a reality show. We need someone to follow us around when we go to like these events or when we have a mega event and follow the characters around and see if we could throw it on TV and get some laughs. I know we could probably do it. Like the Rednecks Jersey Shore, something like that.
We got enough characters where it will be highly entertaining.
All right, so here with Leo Kishore, and I want to hit this one more time, brother. We've got the ATB Sounds Band is rocking the Lincoln Theater on March the 20th. It's going to be popping off at 7 o'clock. Now, it's just not the ATB Sounds Band. We've got, here's the lineup. 7 p.m., we got Jason Adamo and Annie Wilgen. 8 p.m., we got the Roman Spring. Now, are you familiar with these bands, Leo?
I think a lot of people at ATB know who Jason Adamo is. He's hit a lot of venues, like he's done a lot of solo sets at Saints and Scholars and several places. And I know a lot of people know who Jason is. So I mean, I don't think that that'll be foreign to them at all. I'm familiar with some of the later bands, but not the second band.
Okay. So we got the Roman Spring. They're coming on right before ATB Sounds at 9. 10:15, the Oatmeal Conspiracy. That's a pretty cool name. 11:15.
Yeah, I know those guys.
You know the Oatmeal Conspiracy? I'd like to.
Yeah, and to reiterate, ATB Sounds is from 9 to 10 p.m. On that Friday.
From 9 to 10, that's when you'll be able to hear the ATB Sounds. And we are thinking of whoever wins ATB Idol will be afforded the opportunity to sing with the ATB Sounds Band.
If I have my way, that's a definite, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll ask whoever wins, see if they feel comfortable, if they think they can do it. I don't know how that'll work out without any practice, could be something.
Yeah, I don't know about anybody else, but I'll come learning my part.
So 10:15 we got the Oatmeal Conspiracy coming on, and we got at 11:15 Duck, and if you're a all-nighter at 12:15 Troubadour Sons. I hope I said that right.
Yeah, and I think Troubadour Sons, I think.
Troubadour, okay.
And there's some ATB members in that. There's a guy going by the handle of Varmint Vittles, and he's in Troubadour Sons. So, there's another tie-in right there.
Oh, wow. So we've got ATB members and other bands playing that night. That's pretty cool.
And if I could make a little plug real quick, my main band, Urban Soil, is having a CD release party at the Poorhouse April 4th. It's the day after the Masquerade Ball. So if you're not too hungover from that, you should come check us out at the Poorhouse. We have a great show for you, and I have to say I am super proud of the work that we did on this album.
Now, the Poorhouse, is that the venue with the record store, the vinyl store on top of it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They did. Yeah, it's a good time up there. They redid that whole area. They got a bar up there now, and some pretty cool vinyl. And it doesn't take away at all from what you could see of the stage upstairs. So it's still good. And Adam, the owner at the Poorhouse, is, has just done so much for the Raleigh music scene. So, it's always nice to go there and support.
Yeah, I was taken back, man, by all the vinyl up there, man. Let me ask you one thing before you go. I was going to ask you this earlier, and it slipped my mind. Why do you think vinyl is making such a comeback? And why is it more expensive now than it was in the 80s?
Well, I mean, one of the things with vinyl, like the sound itself, I mean, people argue that it sounds better or whatever. I do know that it sounds different. It just sounds different. It's got this, usually like with record players, there's, you've got tube amps or whatever. And what comes out of it is a completely different sound than your Spotify's and your CDs or whatever. I remember where cassettes were dying and then CDs came out, and how everything was crystal clear. And then years later, people were like, "Well, I don't know that I completely want crystal clear anymore." They want some of that warmth that the old school gear had. Plus, records have like so much space for like all the lyrics and some good graphics, which was a lot of the fun back in the day. Yeah. They took them down. Like, cassettes were just ridiculous. But even CDs, you know, you had the small picture, and you know, back in the day when I had decent eyesight, I could see what was going on. But
Oh, I remember.
but now it's just like, yeah. Now it's just like trying to pick things out. So in that regards, you know, vinyl, for those two reasons, vinyl is pretty cool. And yeah, I got a lot of friends who are producing, you know, records these days, vinyls these days, and they're selling them. You know.
Yeah, I know. You getting back to the art. I remember the Poison, Look What the Cat Dragged In. Like you couldn't get that.
Oh yeah,
that was some first class album art right there. You can't get that.
Absolutely.
Nowadays. Yeah, everything is digital and digital pictures, and I guess I get it. But I got a friend, man. He buys records. He spends hundreds of dollars a week on vinyl, and it's like, dude, didn't you have that when you were growing up and you threw it all away? Now you're rebuying it. But,
exactly.
Yeah. All right, Leo.
Yeah, I'm all about convenience. You know, I'm a Spotify kid right now.
Oh, that's me. I'm all about Alexa, you know, play my country playlist or my Octane playlist. You know, that's the way I am, man. Or I'm on.
Yeah, seriously, how are you gonna make a mixtape with records?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like.
Yeah, you know that third song ain't gonna be any good. I don't want to hear that.
Oh. Now I am listening to the Def Leppard Vault record on Bluetooth right now through my Apple Music. That's the only album I can watch from A to Z. You know.
Yeah.
Or did I say watch or did I say listen? Oh Jesus.
Well, we knew what you meant. We're with you.
I'm a fucking mush mouth tonight, man. I think I need some coffee, or damn it, some sleep. Who knows? Well, anyway, Leo, thanks for joining us, man. Once again, we've got ATB Idol Week 4 tomorrow night, starting at 9 o'clock at Wild Wing Cafe in Briar Creek, which is in Raleigh, North Carolina, off of Briar Creek Parkway. And we have got taking 2 singers from that tomorrow to get to the final. That's going to be next Wednesday. Also, you can come watch Leo play with the ATB Sounds Band on March the 20th at the Lincoln Theater. Other band members are going to be Chris Martin on vocals, Dina Napolitano on vocals, Lenny Terenzi on the guitar, Alan Wilson on the guitar, and Jonathan Wilson on drums. Now, I do believe there's a $12 suggested donation, but you can donate whatever you want. Like Leo was saying earlier, the venue, the Basement East in Nashville, it's one of those smaller venues where a lot of artists get their start. So that's why they feel it's important to do something like this at the Lincoln Theater. You got anything else, Leo? Anything else going on?
No, don't let the suggested donation prevent you from coming out. Just come out and have a good time. Remember, it's suggested.
Suggested, the key word. If anything, come see the debut. This might be the one and only time they get together and play. So come see.
But it's going to be good.
It's going to rock.
I can guarantee you that the band will be good.
Dude, I was going to talk to you about Ginger. I had them pulled up and everything. I was trying to find like their tour dates, and here it is. Yeah. I digress again. I was going to say goodbye, but now they got tour dates for Ginger coming up.
Let's talk about some Ginger. Seriously, like if you guys in ATB world have not heard of Ginger, look them up. That girl can sing and she can scream, and the players are fantastic.
All right, so April 20th. No, I'm sorry, April the 11th. Okay, they're going to be in Austria. I don't think we can go there.
Not
Where's
easily.
their U.S. dates? Are they touring in the U.S.? I don't see. No, man. They are like, oh my God. Guatemala City, Monterrey, Mexico, Guadalajara, Zapote, Costa Rica, Colombia. Dude,
Monterrey's not too crazy.
Do they hate the United States? What's going on here?
I don't know. I made that drive once.
Okay. They're playing at the Fillmore in San Francisco on April 23rd. Oh my God, they are traveling the world in a month. This is crazy.
They have blown up.
Dude,
and they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it.
So they make their way. Oh shit! Here we go. I see a road trip to Norfolk, May 3rd.
Oh, hell yeah.
May the 3rd, they are going to be in Norfolk, Virginia. I am going to go ahead and click interested beside that. And, yeah, definitely. That sounds like a road
All
trip,
right,
bro.
dude. Yeah, I'm so down. I'm so down.
They're in Atlanta,
Where are
too.
they playing? The Norva?
Yeah, the Norva. 7:15.
Oh, hell yeah, we're going to go see Ginger at the Norva.
Is that a smaller venue?
It's comparable to the Lincoln Theater.
Holy shit. Dude, we better buy tickets now. Let me see if we can do
it. Yeah, it's going to get rowdy. Well, it's not tiered. Yeah. You know, it's just a complete flat area, so I don't, you know, tickets? We're just going to be part of the fray.
Dude, they're $23 for tickets.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, let me check my calendar and I'll get back with you on that.
Yeah, so May the 3rd, Ginger, if you want to hear like this badass woman that can scream metal and has a delicate voice that can put you to sleep, like you need to see this. And she's easy to look at too. Boy, she is smoking. All right, Leo. Thanks for joining me on Hammer tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. For everybody out there, check the events page. Peace.
See ya.